Okay. So good morning, one and all, everybody who are present for the lecture. And thank you, MUHS, for giving me this opportunity. So we will start with the topic of what is the scope of homeopathy in a case of surgery. So now up to second year, you have studied pre-clinical subjects, nothing concerned to clinics. So now directly we are talking about the disease, we are talking about the diagnosis, we are talking about the management of the disease. So here we are supposed to define the health, disease, what is materia medica, what is therapeutics, what is the role of homeopathy in surgery. So I have seen people, whenever I ask in Viva, what is the role of homeopathy in surgery? Usually I found or I have noticed that people talk about the limitation. See, when we go to meet somebody, when we are meeting on a first instance, we always try to tell the best thing what we are having. We do not try to tell our negative things. It is by default, after a few days and after these things, people come to know about our defects. But what we do try to tell is best is like we try to tell the best part of ours. So same way, why we should talk about the negative in a first instance? We should talk about the scope rather than limitation. Right? So now coming to, first we will define what is health. See, as everybody know from first year, even if you do not have any clinical subject, the health has been defined 100 times. Mental, physical, social, and now one more term is added, that is spiritual. So all these well-beings is termed as a health. And any disturbance in this is labeled as a disease. So this is a definition of disease and health concerned to allopathic point of view or a modern medicine point of view. Considering homeopathy, what is the definition of disease? What we say is a dynamic disturbance or a disturbance in a state of vital force, or whenever vital force is not in a harmony, we suffer from a disease. So what is again a vital force? Vital force is a dynamic power. As everyone knows that vital force खूप materia medica आणि organon मध्ये सारखं आपण vital force ऐकतो आहोत. So vital force is a dynamic, invisible power, so many qualities and so many things to know about the vital force. Today I am not going to go in detail of the vital force, but for my sake or for the understanding of surgery, the thing important is to know what is disease. So to know the disease, first important part is to know the health. So health is when your vital force is in harmony, you are healthy. When your vital force is deranged, then you are suffered or then you are diseased. So now coming to what exactly you mean by surgical disease. Whatever Dr. Hahnemann has described about the surgical diseases and its management. Dr. Hahnemann has considered in तुम्ही जर BK Sarkar organonचं book बघितलं तर त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी डिस्क्रिप्शन दिलंय 185 ऑनवर्ड्स ऑर्गॅनिझम्स एफोरिझम्स जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी या गोष्टी कव्हर केलेल्या आहेत. They have mentioned that what do you mean by this surgical disease. So there Dr. Hahnemann has talked about local diseases first. So what do you mean by local diseases? Really do the local diseases exist? See, I want to tell you the example about the local disease. किंवा local diseases म्हणजे असं असू शकतं का की तुमचं डोकं दुखतंय and then you are normal. बाकी तुमचं सगळं व्यवस्थित आहे. तुमच्या हाताला फ्रॅक्चर झालंय पण बाकी सगळं तुमचं नॉर्मल आहे. So whenever there is any disease in the body, whenever there is a disturbance, see, according to us, the definition itself means that is a dynamic change. And dynamic change is not confined to any local part. It's a generalized state of body. And vital force lives in the whole body. So there is no local disease. Actually, strictly speaking, Dr. Hahnemann says that there is no existence of any local disease. Because in any disease, the person is going to react as a whole. शरीर आपलं किंवा मन किंवा as a human being we try to react for a certain situation, whatever, maybe it is an antigen असेल समजा बॉडीमध्ये एंटर झालेला किंवा एक्सटर्नल फोर्स तुमचा आहे, इंजुरी आहे. So there is going to occur inflammation झालं की तिथे फीवर आला की पेन आला की रेडनेस आला. So this cannot be a local change. म्हणजे समजा असं जरी म्हटलं की प्रत्येक पार्ट बॉडीचा हा लोकलच पार्ट आहे, म्हणजे हात हा हात वेगळाच आहे, पाय हे पाय वेगळेच आहेत, डोळे हे माझे वेगळेच आहेत. Still it is not so that my some foreign simple example of a foreign body you can take. If foreign body is there in your eyes and then you are enjoying your existence, it doesn't happen so. So this is the thing what we are supposed to understand is there is, strictly speaking, Dr. Hahnemann says there cannot be an existence of a local disease because there is a participation of vital force, there is a reaction of a person as a whole, and so this is the disease is never local. So this is part of the definition. So now if there is no local disease, then what you call it as local disease? When, according to Dr. Hahnemann, local diseases are those diseases where external force is too trivial. What the word Dr. Hahnemann has used is too trivial. Trivial means खूप छोटं, very, very small force. आता कधीतरी आता त्याचं एक्झाम्पल आपल्याला कसं देता येईल, समजा जाता जाता कुठेतरी एखादा मार्क फुटला, खरचटलं माझ्या हातावरती, then it is a purely local disease because you do not react as a whole. You do not participate in the process of the disease. Simple abrasion चा मार्क असतो, जरासं 2-5 मिनिटं कुठेतरी burning sensation किंवा लागल्यासारखं 1-2 सेकंड होतं, and then you forget. Many of the times you see the mark afterwards and then you realize that I have got some injury. So where the external force is too trivial to evoke a response in a human being, you label it as a disease. You label it as a local disease. So according to Dr. Hahnemann, there is no local disease. So there is no question arises about the treating the local disease. So now coming to the surgical diseases, what we are talking, today's main topic is what is the scope of homeopathy in surgery. As just now I said that there is no local disease exists, or in each and every disease we participate as a whole. A human being participates as a whole, acts and reacts as a whole. म्हणजे मी तुम्हाला मगाचपासून एक्झाम्पल सांगते की तुमचं डोकं दुखतंय, समजा इफ यू हॅव अ सिम्पल हेडेक अँड यू आर गिवन बिन अपॉर्च्युनिटी टू वॉच अ आयनॉक्स थिएटरचं कोणीतरी तिकीट आणून दिलं आणि तुम्हाला सांगितलं की तुम्ही मूवी बघायला जायचं आहे आज, विल यू बी एबल टू एन्जॉय इट? फक्त डोकंच तर दुखतंय, लोकलच तर पाठ दुखतोय माझा, then do we able to enjoy it? No, we cannot do this. So this is the reason that we are acting and participating and reacting as a whole. The disease does not exist locally, and only those diseases are local diseases where the external force is too small. Up to this, I think you all are clear. So now coming to the next part, what is surgical disease? What are the surgical diseases? And we can label it as from head to toe. All parts are connected with the local surgical diseases. सगळ्या प्रत्येक पार्टला बॉडीच्या आपल्याला सर्जरी लागू शकते किंवा सर्जरी करावी लागते. So what is see again when we talk about the disease and health homeopathically, I said that there is no disease which comes with the without internal force. So dynamic force is going to participate in the disease. So whenever there is an involvement of a dynamic force, the health is not going to regain or restored till the dynamic medicines are given. Right? So surgical diseases are all the diseases, those are dynamic diseases because their vital force is going to get participation. See, vital force cooperation शिवाय बॉडी मध्ये कुठेही डिसीज एक्झिस्टच होऊ शकत नाही. सो whenever there is a vital force involvement, how you will be able to correct it? Only surgical means will not help to correct the disease. You will need the medicine of dynamic medicine, that is a homeopathic medicine or a homeopathic drug to recover the disease. So whenever we are talking about the surgical disease, you take simple example of appendicitis, you can take cataract, you can take cholecystitis, cholelithiasis, any simple fracture, anywhere, anything any surgical disease you imagine, and then you imagine that whether it is a local disease or whether it is a surgical disease or a disease as a whole. So there is no local disease. So any surgical disease, and again there is a participation of vital force. Even if the disease is surgical, then you will think about what about the injury. If the force is external, then what it is, whether it is a local disease or whether it is a dynamic disease. See, anywhere, even if you have injury, multiple factors get associated with that. You may have loss of volume, you may simple असेल तर कदाचित fear, anxiety, slight hemorrhage, hypotension, चक्कर आल्यासारखं, giddiness, up to that it will be confined or limited. If it is something more severe, then there will be a presence of coma, or patient may have development of shock, septicemic shock, later on patient may go. Then multiple series of changes will occur. So all these changes will not be able to occur till the moment there is a cooperation of vital force. So in each and every disease process, when there is a development of or a cooperation of a vital force, we need to prescribe homeopathic medicine to restore our dynamic force, that is vital force, to the health. So what is the scope of homeopathy? Now you would have understood. In each and every surgical cases, we can, each and every surgical case, we can cure with the homeopathy. Because as it is a dynamic disease, we need dynamic medicine to restore it to the health. It's a very simple thing. Still, if it is so, we cannot claim or we cannot say that only with the homeopathy we can cure all the diseases, all the surgical diseases. We need help of some mechanical skill. Why? Why we need the help of some mechanical help? See, these are the obstacles. What we are talking about, a mechanical skill, where we are going to need this help of surgery, or where we are going to need the help of some technical method or some mechanical part or force to help it out to restore your vital force to the, as this vital force do not restore by its own without taking care of these obstacles. So these obstacles can be in the means of any form. This obstacle can be simple. If there is a patient is having an external injury and patient is having a gap injury, the edges of the wound are separated. How much ever you try to give calendula, you try to give silicia, you can try 50 millisiemens scale, you try biochemic, you try anything else. But the things are not going to get recovered, or things are not going to get corrected till the moment you take the help of surgical means. What is the meaning of this? Because this vital force do not let your this obstacles like this, as I said, one example, edges, gap of edges is one example where you need to take the help of surgery. Also, if there is some end product production, if there is an end product like the pus is formed, or the tissue has been necrosed, or there is a coagulative necrosis in the case of a burn, these dead tissues, debridement treatment जे आपण म्हणतो की removal of this dead tissue from the body, till the moment you don't do it, the part will not restore to the normal. म्हणजे ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टीमध्ये जे जे काही ऑब्स्टिकल्स आहेत, आणखीन एक एक्झाम्पल आपल्याला देता येईल. समजा पेशंटला फ्रॅक्चर झालेला आहे, बोन हॅज बीन फ्रॅक्चर्ड ड्यू टू सम एक्सटर्नल फोर्स, चालताना अवल्जन फ्रॅक्चर झालंय किंवा क्रॅक झालाय किंवा लॉन्जिट्युडनल आहे, हॉरिझॉन्टल आहे, एनिथिंग इट कॅन बी, किंवा पुलिस फ्रॅक्चर आहे, यू कॅन नेम इट एनी टाइप ऑफ बोन इंजुरी, अँड पर्सन हॅज सम ऍक्सिडेंट, person has met with some accident and he has developed a fracture in his bone. So whenever there is a presence of fracture in a body, just with the help of homeopathy, we cannot cure it to cure. We cannot claim it to cure, because these are the obstacles. You have to apply splint to the part, you have to support it, you should bring back this bone to the natural surface, and then only you can prescribe homeopathic medicine to restore it to the normal. So these are the few examples of the surgical skill. Also, one more example you can give: if there is a collection of a discharge in a cavity, it can be simple edema, it can be pus formation, it can be hemorrhage, it can be anything. If there is a collection of fluid in a cavity, you have to open up the cavity, incision and drainage करावंच लागतं. If you remove out that discharge and then you think of giving some homeopathic medicines to restore it to the normal, the things get very fast and very best way of healing we can approach. So these are the examples of things where we need to remove the obstacles. If there is a cut injury to the artery, समजा तुम्ही बघितलं की कुठेतरी आर्टरी कट झालेली आहे ड्यू टू सम ऍक्सिडेंट, किंवा साधा चाकू लागून, किंवा स्टॅब वुंड असेल, होमिसाइडल असेल, सुइसाइडल असेल, एनिथिंग इट कॅन बी. If this type of things are there and person has developed a cut injury and artery is bleeding forcefully, we cannot say that I will prescribe hemostatic drugs and I will be able to take care of it. I will prescribe Himabilis, I will prescribe ammonium carb, and the whole idea of injury will be taken care of. It will not happen. Understood? So when I said one important thing, that these are the mechanical skill, the help of which we will need to restore it to the normal. Up to this, I think you are clear. So again, I will repeat the thing that there cannot be an existence of a disease or a growth of a disease till the movement, internal force participates in the process of disease. That is a vital force. There cannot be an existence of a local disease. There cannot be a simple surgical disease. All the diseases which exist in a body are always of a dynamic nature, and the dynamic nature of a disease will be only cured with the help of dynamic medicines. So whenever we have been asked about the scope of homeopathy, for me it is like pride that we can treat each and every surgical disease with the help of homeopathy. I have explained you the answer why we can say this, that we can treat each and every surgical disease with the help of homeopathy. But even if it is so, we cannot claim that only with the help of homeopathy we can cure the disease. We will need, or we may need the mechanical skill. We need the help of mechanical skill to remove these obstacles, and which will allow your vital force to restore it to the normal. The things are clear up to this. What is the scope of homeopathy? One part of this is over. So now coming to the thing, what is Materia Medica and therapeutics? Whether they both are same or they both act on a different principle, and whether if it is same, then why we need to study it differently, and how we are going to shortlist it, and how we are going to write it in exam. Important part of the lecture is again, because in exams, every question, long question has been asked with the scope of the example. Take if a renal calculi is there, question. In exam, if you get the question of renal calculi, the last part of the question, last element of the question is write the scope and limitation of homeopathy in a case of renal calculi. If we are supposed to study this way from A to Z, all the diseases the consideration करून प्रत्येक डिसीजचा आपण जर स्कोप आणि लिमिटेशन ठरवायचं बघितलं तर इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. विल नॉट एबल टू एंड अप विथ द 2 वर्ष काय 10 वर्ष जरी आपण घेतली तरी आपल्याला डिसीजेस समअप करता येणार नाही. So this is a short method where we can sum up with the thing that we can find the essence that what is to be done in this case. As I said you that we are supposed to find out, we are supposed to take the help of a mechanical skill to remove the obstacles is a one part. So now we have removed the obstacles, and now we are thinking about the giving homeopathic medicines to a surgical case. Any surgical case we are going to treat it the homeopathy. So what we will do? See, in first year and second year, we have learned something, totality of symptoms. We have learned something, similia, sibyllium, curanture, a simillimum of a person, and a acute medicine and a chronic medicine of a person, and the similar drug. So what is the concept of therapeutics? Is it same with the Materia Medica, or is it different than Materia Medica? If it is same, then why we are studying it different? This question should be arised in your mind. And then if you will be able to find the answer of this question, then and then only you will be able to know that what we are going to do. And whether it is, see, in homeopathy, see what the principles, what Dr. Hahnemann has given us, that is a similia similibus curantia. Are we going to change this principle for the purpose of therapeutics? Or are we allowed to do this? No. Principles never change. Principles remain same all throughout life. It never changes. It is not me or somebody else, or not neither you nor me nor anyone else in the world can change this principle. So again, the basic principle is same, similia similibus curantia. And then why we cannot do it with the help of Materia Medica? Why we need to study therapeutics differently? See, now I will tell you what is the difference between Materia Medica and therapeutics. It is nothing different actually. It is one and the therapeutics is a part of a Materia Medica. In Materia Medica, we study the definition of Materia Medica. You people know well. I will not go in details of medicines therapeutics. Whatever we have learned in Materia Medica, the application of this knowledge is a therapeutics. जर तुम्हाला सेकंड इयर सिलेबस, सेकंड इयर मध्ये आपण सर्जरी शिकवायला सुरुवात करतो, थर्ड इयरला तुम्हाला त्याची एक्झाम द्यायची असते. 2 पेपर आहे. फर्स्ट पेपरला सिलेबस वेगळा आहे, सेकंड पेपरला तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन पेपरचा पॅटर्न दिलेला आहे. एव्हरीथिंग यू नो वेल अबाउट दिस. सो व्हॉट इज द रोल ऑफ सिलेक्टिंग, और हाऊ विल यू डू इट? मी सांगितलं तसं समजा प्रत्येक डिसीजचा आपल्याला स्कोप अँड लिमिटेशन स्टडी करायचं झालं तर इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. वी कॅन नॉट डू दॅट. सो वी आर समरायझिंग समथिंग की वी आर कमिंग टू द शॉर्ट और वी आर कमिंग टू द कन्क्लुजन that what way we are going to do it. So Mantra Medica is the study of drug. In short, I will tell you what is Mantra Medica is. You know all the study of this drug containing symptomatologies, clinical signs and everything, pharmacology of that drug and everything we are supposed to study in the Mantra Medica. So therapeutic is, if we do, मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की डिसीज वाईज जर आपण गेलो तर इट इज इम्पॉसिबल. अगेन ड्रग वाईज जरी आपण गेलो तर देन ऑल्सो इट इज इम्पॉसिबल. तुम्हाला A to Z तुमच्या बुकमध्ये असलेल्या जर मट्रिया मेडिकाचे लिस्टमध्ये 336 ड्रग आणि तुमच्या एक्झाम सिलेबसमध्ये जेवढे काही ड्रग्स आहेत हे सगळे जर आपण एका डिसीजसाठी कन्सिडर करायचे झाले तर इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू डू दिस. सो व्हॉट वी डू और व्हॉट वी try to do is we try to summarize the things in a case of how to prescribe the drug. So we are given a few drugs of few group of drugs for particular disease. Affinity of a drug on any particular organ decides the role of that drug in that the disease of or therapeutics. If a person's example I will tell you, see calcarea carb is a drug where calcarea carb has a strong affinity towards bone because it's a calcium drug. It has affinity towards drug. So anything which we are going to study for the bone purpose, if simple pain पासून पर्सनला झालेला फ्रॅक्चर पर्यंत किंवा मल्टिपल ऑर्गन्स मल्टिपल बोन फ्रॅक्चर असेल किंवा एनी डिसलोकेशन आहे किंवा एनी head fracture आहे, any fracture, any connectivity to the bone, we are going to consider calcarea carb. One example is calcarea carb. We are going to see the list of drugs. आपण इंजुरीच्या बऱ्याच ड्रग्स बघणार आहोत. सिम्फायटम आहे, लेडमपाल आहे, स्टेफिसायग्रिया आहे, बेलिस्पर आहे, कॅलेंड्युला आहे. So these are the drugs we are going to shortlist for the purpose of fracture. So this will make you easier. This will help you to decide the medicine for a particular disease. As we know that people make fun of homeopathy, that you take such a long case checking, you brings the book and then you study. So whenever a person has some particular short disease or a small acute disease, then we are going to consider what the presenting features are. आपण पेशंटला मग तशा वेळेला तुमचा स्वभाव कसा आहे आणि मग तुमचं लाईफस्टाईल कसं आहे अशा गोष्टींमध्ये जात नाही. आपण कन्सिडर करतो शॉर्ट टोटॅलिटी, अॅक्यूट टोटॅलिटी, प्रेझेंटिंग टोटॅलिटी काय आहे तेच कन्सिडर करतो आणि त्या ह्याच्यावरून आपण ड्रग प्रिस्क्राईब करतो. अँड दॅट बिकम्स इझियर वे ऑफ प्रिस्क्रायबिंग फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ सर्जिकल डिसीज. Understood? So what does it mean? Again, if I'm saying that we are going to prescribe on a base of the acute prescription or a presenting totality, then what is the meaning of constitutional prescription? What whole throughout first, second years you have heard or you are listening it since a long, the classical method of homeopathy. So what is a classical method of homeopathy? Where we are going to consider A to Z of the person. We are going to take the considering, there we take a chief complaints, then we prepare a chief totality, then we take physical generals, then we take mental generals, then we take thermal modalities. In physical generals, we consider all the things, desire, aversion, thirst, then what the patient has liking about, patient had no liking about how the patient's mindset, how the anger is, how the emotions are, how the patient responds to a particular response. So many things we consider when we talk about the totality of symptom, considering the classical homeopathy. So if we are saying that classical homeopathy is a base of homeopathy and we are going to prescribe, then in an acute case, I am telling you different, that we are going to consider the present totality. So both the things are similar or both the things are different. What is your opinion? Both the things are same, both the things are different. Think of yourself, really. For me, what is my understanding is both the things are same. As I said, first line when we have started talking about the therapeutic principles never changes. It remains same. So similarity, the basic principle of homeopathy is similarity. This we are not going to change. Even if I am telling you the drug that we are going to consider the acute totality, the presenting features, and then we are going to prescribe the drug, but it doesn't mean at all that it is not going to follow the rule of similarity. Whenever we are talking about, samjha ata example, take an example of renal calculus. If I am talking about the renal calculi, here we are going to make a acute presenting totality घेऊन समजा आपण प्रिस्क्रिप्शन करणार आहोत, तर पेशंटला कुठल्या साइडला पेन आहे, that will make the difference in प्रिस्क्रायबिंग. म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण एक्यूट टोटॅलिटी फॉर्म करणार आहोत तेव्हा प्रेझेंटिंग बट की नोट्स जे काही आहेत पेशंटला, इफ अ पर्सन हॅज अ राईट साइडेड renal calculi, person has a tiny calculi, how the pain is, patient presents with the pain, then how the pain is, whether pain is agonizing type आहे का stitching type आहे का colicky pain आहे, what are the modalities of the pain, whether it is patient is getting better by this, patient is not getting better by this, or how the thirst is. These are the things what we are going to consider when these are acute totality. And the drugs similar to acute totality, the principle of the both the prescriptions, even if you do a classical prescription or if you do a prescription based on an acute totality or you do anyway, the basic principle of similarity is not going to change ever. So if we are considering acute totality, there we will consider the जो काही local symptom patients are presenting आहे, म्हणजे that will be the most striking feature of the totality. समजा पेशंट राईट साइडेड रिनल कॅल्क्युलाई घेऊन तुमच्याकडे आला आहे, तर देन वी विल प्रिस्क्राइब कन्सिडरिंग द ड्रग शुड ऑलवेज कंटेन दिस राईट साइडेड रिनल कॅल्क्युलाई. You cannot think of giving a left-sided drug for the right-sided person, provided in few exceptions. So when I am talking about the prescription based on acute totality, we are going to follow the principle of the same. We are going to follow the principle of the similarity. Understood? Clear. So now again the next question arises. The things when we are forming the totality, what type of symptoms we are going to consider? If I said example, if you take that basic thirst patient ची काहीतरी वेगळी आहे, मला नेहमी खूप कमी पाणी, एक्झाम्पल सांगते, पेशंट विल से दॅट मला खूप कमी पाणी लागतं, आय डू नॉट नीड वॉटर फ्रिक्वेंटली, बट सिन्स I have been fall ill, since I have developed fever, since I have developed this abscess in my body, my thirst has increased. So what you are going to consider? When we are talking about acute totality, what you are going to consider? Are you going to consider a basic thirst of the patient, or you are going to consider the acute thirst which patient is presented now? So when we are talking about the acute diseases, we are going to go with the altered symptom or a presenting totality which patient is showing now. Sometimes basic thirst and the now even after acute presentation, the thirst is going to remain same in few patients. Patient नेहमीच मला कमी तहान लागते, ताप आल्यापासून सुद्धा मला काही फारसं पाणी लागत नाहीये. If patient says this way, then the thirst of the patient is same. What you have considered in a basic will be remaining same. So we are not going to change the things. We are going to consider the things in a different aspect. We are going to consider the thirst basically which is altered, or if it is same, we are going to consider the same. समजलं? आता आपण ह्या जसं मी फिजिकल जनरल्सच्या बाबतीत म्हटलं तुम्हाला की तुम्ही प्रत्येक वेळेला फिजिकल जनरल्स, when we are considering physical generals, we are always supposed to see that since acute presentation, it doesn't mean that we are not supposed to take physical generals or we are not supposed to take a mental generals in an acute case. Striking physical general or a striking mental general, we are going to take, we are going to consider, but here we are going to consider the altered thing. सी पेशंट एखाद्या वेळेला असं सांगतो की माझा असा स्वभाव अजिबात चिडचिडा नाहीये किंवा मी अजिबात रागीट नाहीये, पण जेव्हापासून आजारी पडलो माझा स्वभाव खूप चिडचिडा झालाय, मला काहीच करावंसं वाटत नाही, मला कुणाशी बोलावंसं वाटत नाही, कुणी विचारलं तरी माझी चिडचिड होते. सो दिस इज अ अल्टर्ड पॅथॉलॉजी. दिस वी कॅन ऑलवेज कन्सिडर. So when we are talking about the acute totality, we are always going to consider the things which are going to be present with the acute totality. When we are talking about classical prescription, there we are going to consider the basic nature of the person. So आपण असं म्हणतो की acute totality मध्ये मी तुम्हाला आता सांगितलं की whatever is how you will form the acute totality, what you are going to consider. मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की presenting features, presenting local symptoms. Presenting local symptoms will be the striking feature of the totality, will be the main part of consideration. So patient came with appendicitis, patient came with renal calculi, patient has came with the any simple abscess, anything, whatever is the presenting feature that we are going to see. Along with this, we are going to see the physical generals and mental generals, those what are altered state of symptoms. समजलं? म्हणजे एरवी मला असं असतं आणि आता माझं असं आहे. So whatever the patient is presenting, that things we are going to consider when we are talking about the acute totality. So now coming to the chronic totality. Chronic or classical prescription. समजा आता पेशंटला तुम्ही acute renal calculi एपिसोड होता पेशंटला आणि तुम्ही ड्रग दिलं आणि लाइकोपोडियम किंवा सारसापारेला तुम्ही प्रिस्क्राइब केलं आणि पेशंट इज आउट ऑफ दॅट acute episode. And now you have seen that this person has developed a tendency to have a renal calculi. Repeatedly, patient renal calculi hotoy. Consider a simple example of VAX. Person has a tendency to develop a VAX. Many of the times you see a family history in a case of a VAX. So if the person is having this acute totality, you have prescribed considering acute totality, patient is out of that acute attack and patient is now approached you that telling you that ma'am, do something, I don't want to get the repeat attack of this, or I want to get rid of the renal calculi permanently, do something for this. So whenever we want to do a classical prescription or when we want to do a constitutional prescription, we are going to take his basic pathology, we are going to take the basic symptomatology. म्हणजे एरवी तुमची थस्ट कशी असते, एरवी तुमचा स्वभाव कसा आहे, एरवी तुम्हाला हवा कशी लागते, थंड बरं वाटतं का गरम बरं वाटतं, विच टाइप ऑफ फूड यू लाईक टू टेक. सी मेनी ऑफ द टाइम थर्मल मोडॅलिटीज मध्ये आपण छोटे छोटे सिम्पटम्स कन्सिडर करतो, बट मेनी ऑफ द टाइम दॅट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ हॅबिट. म्हणजे काही लोकांमध्ये तो पार्ट ऑफ हॅबिट असू शकतो. सो अगेन यू नीड टू जज वेदर इट इज अ रिअल चेंज आहे का, रिअल सिम्टमॅटॉलॉजी आहे का, फक्त पेशंट डिस्क्राईब करतो आहे. दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स वी आर सपोज टू कन्सिडर अगेन. सो when we are talking about constitutional prescription, we are going to take the basic nature of the person, basic symptomatology of the person, basic physical generals of the person, and then we are going to make the prescription. So whatever way you adapt for the prescription, whether it is acute totality, whether it is chronic totality, whether it is something concerned to the total part of this totality, anything. Some people have prescription only on the dreams, anything it can be. We are not going in details of the way of prescription, whatever you take, anything, but the base of the homeopathy is going to remain same, that is a symptom similarity. You cannot prescribe a drug when a person is presenting with the right symptoms. You cannot think of giving left-sided drug. A person is chilly, you cannot give a patient a drug which is hot. If a person has a mild type of nature, you cannot consider a drug having anger in his basic nature. So these are the things which we are going to consider in these two things. So anything which is present with the surgical disease, we are going to cure it with the means of prescription. So what is a proof of this? That local external disease will be also treated by this internal medication. What has made us to conclude this, or how Dr. Hahnemann has concluded this, that the things are going to get corrected even if you give the internal medicine. This Dr. Hahnemann has given 2 points for this, that we have seen all the local changes occurring when he did a proving of the drug with the Hahnemannian method of the proving. And what is the Hahnemannian method of the proving is oral administration. He has not anywhere, in few exceptional cases, he has talked about the external applications. Here I'm not going in details of external applications. I'm talking about the disease where Dr. Hahnemann has said that all the external changes. So whenever he has proved Silicea, he has seen abscess growing. Whenever he has this drug Sorinum or something like this, he has seen skin lesions occurring externally. Any appendicitis, he has not treated it with the external anything. Not example, if the person has developed a sty, if a person has developed a chalazion, if a person is having a simple conjunctivitis, none where he has described that the things. Whenever in proving, Dr. Hahnemann said that I have done proving with the Hahnemannian method, that is an oral administration of drug. So all the external maladies which have appeared on the body, considering simple conjunctivitis or a psoriasis or an abscess or anything, for that reason he has not done proving of any external drug. So all the local changes have occurred on the basis of internal proving. This is the one proof. So any drug, if you try to prove it, and if it is getting external affection or external malady, it is going to get cured with the internal medication. And whenever Dr. Hahnemann has tried proving the drug, He said, whenever I have prescribed a similar drug to any person, the things have been corrected well with the local maladies also. So external features are also being covered with the help of this internal medication. So none where Dr. Hahnemann has advised or not. These are the two facts which Dr. Hahnemann has taken support to conclude that all the surgical diseases, all the local diseases can be treated with the internal medication. First proof I said you is all the external maladies appeared on internal medication, proving by the means of Hahnemannian method. That is the oral administration of drug. कुठल्याही सोरियासिसच्या किंवा एक्झिमाच्या किंवा एनिथिंग यू टेक कंजंक्टिव्हायटिस किंवा ह्याच्या कुठल्याही डिसीजसाठी किंवा एक्सटर्नल मॅलेडीसाठी डॉक्टर हनेमॅन हॅज नॉट प्रूव्ड एनी ड्रग एक्सटर्नली. Whatever the internal medication was done, and he was able to see the external changes. So this is the one thing. And whenever a similar drug has been prescribed, considering the totality, the things have been corrected even if it is external. सो सोरियासिस ट्रीट करताना फक्त एक्सटर्नल ऍप्लिकेशननी सोरियासिस ट्रीट झालंय असं कुठेही मेन्शन केलेलं नाहीये आणि असं कुठेही एक्सपिरियन्स मध्ये नाहीये. सो सोरियासिस ट्रीट करताना सुद्धा प्रत्येक वेळेला इंटरनल मेडिकेशनच लागतं, ऍज द डिसीज इज कॉज विथ द इंटरनल फोर्स. ऍज वी हॅव सीन सिन्स फर्स्ट सेंटेन्स ऑफ दिस लेक्चर आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ वायटल फोर्स. द थिंग्स विल नॉट बीन करेक्टेड और थिंग्स विल नॉट बी इन restored to the normal till the moment you prescribe the dynamic medicine. As the dynamic changes occurs during diseases, dynamic medicine only helps to recover. Clear up to this? So Dr. Hahnemann has concluded from 185 to 195 section मध्ये त्यांनी diseases, local diseases or surgical diseases, everything he has considered in this part. Again, to sum up with the things that what we have studied in this this lecture is, what do you mean by disease? That is a dynamic derangement or a derangement in a state of or a harmony of the vital force. As this force is internal, as this force is dynamic, to restore it to the normal, we need the dynamic force. Even if it is so, we cannot claim or we cannot say that we can cure all the diseases just with the homeopathy, because there are few obstacles which need to be corrected with the help of this mechanical skill. If you will remove this mechanical obstructions with the mechanical aid or mechanical help or mechanical skill, you will be able to restore a person to the normal. This is one part. So now when we are talking about giving a homeopathic medicine to the surgical case, what will be the base of prescription? How you are going to deal with the case? And if we are supposed to see A to Z drug for one particular disease, it is going to be difficult. So we have sum up, or we are going to study a group of diseases for the purpose of the therapeutics, which we are going to consider for one particular disease. It doesn't mean that whatever, समजा तुम्हाला तुमच्या टीचरनी एक 10 ड्रगची लिस्ट सांगितली की बर्न्सच्या केसमध्ये तुम्हाला ह्या 10 ड्रगचा स्टडी करायचा आहे. So it doesn't mean that you cannot prescribe 11 drug for the burn. From A to Z, again considering totality, considering similarity, you can prescribe any drug to any of the person. Understood? So this is what we have learned in this disease, that we are going to consider the totality and we are going to prescribe the drug. So we are going to study the least group of drugs. Even if that is there, that we are going to study the group of drug for the particular disease purpose, we are going to consider any drug for any disease. Again, the base of choice will be the symptom similarity. So the basic principle of symptom similarity will never change. Okay, the things are going to remain same throughout. Homeopathic practice is symptom similarity. So as I said, we are going to consider either acute totality, or we are going to make a prescription based on a classical homeopathy or a constitutional prescription. So what we are going to see in acute totality is presenting features or an altered state of mind or physique. Anything which is altered. मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की स्वेटिंग, समजा एक्झाम्पल सांगत होते मी मगाशी तुम्हाला, पेशंटची थर्स्ट बेसिक वेगळी आहे आणि आजारी पडल्यापासून वेगळी आहे. सो दोज अल्टर्ड स्टेट वी आर गोइंग टू कन्सिडर व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू मेक अ एक्यूट प्रिस्क्रिप्शन. म्हणजे फक्त अल्टर्ड सिम्पटम्सनी प्रेझेंटिंग टोटॅलिटी जेव्हा एक्यूट अटॅक पेशंटला आहे तेव्हा तो आपण कन्सिडर करणार आहे. बट अगेन वेन वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द कॉन्स्टिट्युशनल प्रिस्क्रिप्शन, वेन वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द क्रॉनिक केस, वी आर गोइंग टू गेट अ क्लासिकल वे. देअर वी आर गोइंग टू कन्सिडर अगेन द बेसिक पार्ट ऑफ द basic disease or a basic constitution of the person. So these are the two things which we are going to consider while making a prescription. So again, one more important thing that people feels that की स्वभाव बदलतो का माणसाचा. when we are talking about the anything which we are going to talk about the chronic case, तर तुम्ही पेशंटचा स्वभाव बदलू शकता का. समजा मेंटल सिम्पटम्सचं कन्सिडरेशन आपण करणार आहोत तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींमध्ये आपण पेशंटचा स्वभाव बदलू शकतो का, आपल्याला बदलायचा आहे का, आपण करू शकतो का. जर असं असतं तर खूप सोपं असतं जग, की मग कुणाचाच नेचर एवढा व्हायलंट किंवा कुणाचा असा राहिला नसता. बट परवर्टेड किंवा पॅथॉलॉजिकल जी काही माइंड स्टेट आहे, एरवी माझ्या बेसिक इन्स्टिंग, समजा माझी एन्झायटी आहे, आय हॅव fearful nature. Example सांगते, it is not of mine, I am talking about the patient. If patient has a little bit of fear or an anxious nature, माझा स्वभाव आहे, पण since that accident has happened, I have become more anxious. खूप जास्त एन्झायटी आहे, म्हणजे मला सतत धडधडतंय, मला जरा सुद्धा कम्फर्टेबल वाटत नाही, आय एम नॉट एबल टू स्लीप, आय एम डेव्हलपिंग फिअर आउट ऑफ इट. इफ इट इज सो इन दिस स्टेट, then we are going to consider anxiety as a presenting feature, and this type of anxiety we can definitely cure, or this type of anxiety we can relieve the patient from this. So 3-4 lines I want to conclude from this lecture to understand this part of the disease. What Dr. Hahnemann has given, or what Dr. Hahnemann, you can write it down, because these are the sentence or these are the essence of the disease. So again, one more important point. Yes, I have forgotten to describe how to write an answer in exam. So whatever this understanding हे तुमच्या प्रॅक्टिसच्या दृष्टीने किंवा तुमच्या क्लिनिकल वेच्या दृष्टीने झालं अंडरस्टँडिंग, पण एक्झॅक्टली तुम्ही कसं करणार आहात किंवा एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट इज द वे ऑफ फायनलायझिंग द आन्सर, हाऊ विल यू राईट द स्कोप अँड लिमिटेशन. जर तुम्हाला कुठल्याही डिसीजचं विचारलं तर मी तुम्हाला आता जशी आयडिया सांगितलं, स्कोप तर तुम्ही लिहूनच टाकायचा आहे किंवा सांगताना सांगूनच टाकायचं आहे की ऑल डिसीजेस वी कॅन ट्रीट विथ होमिओपॅथी. But if in a renal calculi, you can say that if there is an obstruction of the stone, given large stone आहे, which is creating obstruction, if it is in presence in pelvis किंवा renal cortex मध्ये किंवा calysis मध्ये आहे आणि तो कट तिथून obstruction create करून hydronephrosis मध्ये जातोय, then you need to remove it with the help of surgical, and then you are supposed to write the drugs list. 3-4 drugs ची लिस्ट तुम्हाला एक्झाम मध्ये द्यायची. सो थेरापेटिक्स लिहिताना पण परत तुम्ही एक्झाम मध्ये कसं लिहायचं आहे थेरापेटिक्स, समजा तुम्हाला 3 ड्रग्सचं थेरापेटिक्स एक्झाम मध्ये लिहायचं आहे, तर व्हॉट वे यू विल राईट, व्हॉट यू आर सपोज टू राईट इन दिस. त्या डिसीज मधले जे काही कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक सिम्पटम्स आहेत ते 3-4 लाईन मध्ये तुम्ही कव्हर अप करायचे आहे. सेकंड पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये व्हॉट आय फील दॅट यू शुड राईट, इफ इट्स अ कॉन्स्टिट्युशनल ड्रग आहे तर त्याचे जनरल्स तुम्ही लिहिणं अपेक्षित आहे. वॉट एव्हर इज अ राईट साइडेड आहे ड्रग, लेफ्ट साइडेड आहे, सम मेंटल स्ट्रायकिंग सिम्पटम्स असेल त्याचा की नोट्स ज्याला आपण म्हणतो किंवा गायडिंग सिम्पटम्स जे त्या ड्रगचे दिलेले आहेत बुकमध्ये ते तुम्ही सेकंड पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये लिहिणं अपेक्षित आहे आणि थर्ड पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये तुम्ही मोडॅलिटीज लिहिणं अपेक्षित आहे. दिस इज हाऊ यू आर सपोज टू राईट द आन्सर. म्हणजे समजा तुम्हाला थ्रोट विचारला आहे तर थ्रोट मध्ये जे काही प्रेझेंटिंग सिम्पटम्स आहे, राईट साइड आहे, लेफ्ट साइड आहे, ग्रॅन्युलेशन आहे, इंड्युरेशन आहे, फर्स्ट फॉर्मेशन आहे, कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक पेन आहे, whatever is there, you are supposed to write in the first paragraph presenting totality, presenting symptoms, throat affection of a समजा टॉन्सिलाइटिस तुम्ही हेपारसेल्फ लिहिता तर जे काही प्रेझेंटिंग टोटॅलिटी त्याची आहे ती सगळी तुम्ही तिथं पहिल्या पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये लिहायचं. सेकंड पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये तुम्ही त्याचे जनरल्स किंवा कीनोट्स लिहायचे आहेत आणि थर्ड पॅरेग्राफ मध्ये तुम्ही गायडिंग सिम्पटम्स किंवा मोडॅलिटीज किंवा अग्रेवेशन एमिग्रेशन त्याच्यामध्ये लिहायचं. दिस इज हाऊ यू आर सपोज टू राईट द आन्सर. So to sum up this lecture, I will like to say few lines which Dr. Hahnemann has given in section 185. Therefore, the treatment of all local affection must consist in selection of a remedy which must be homeopathic, not only to the character of local affection but also to the totality of the symptom which the patient presents. So the general morbid state of the body is removed along with the local affections, proving local affection should be regarded as an inseparable part of a whole, as one of the most considerable and striking symptoms of the whole disease. So to sum up with this is whenever you talk about the disease, whenever you talk about the surgical disease, you are supposed to go with the prescription of a totality and the drug similar to the totality, and these local symptoms you are going to consider it as a most striking feature of the totality, and then considering that you are supposed to prescribe the drug, and then you will be able to get the cure of the patient, and then this is the way how you get the answer for this. आणि कुठल्याही टॉपिक बद्दल तुम्हाला डाऊट असेल तर मी ट्राय टू सॉल्व्ह करेन. माझा फोन नंबर तुम्ही नोट डाऊन करू शकता. कन्सर्न टू सर्जरी थेरापेटिक्स, तुम्हाला जर काही डाऊट असेल तर तुम्ही कधीही मला फोन करून टेक्स्ट करू शकता. 9423016883 9423016883 हा माझा फोन नंबर आहे. एनीबडी, इफ एनीबडी हॅज एनी डाऊट कॅन text me anytime. I will reply according to my convenience. Okay.